This is Cab Class with Gary, Mark and Sean. And we're asking, are you a classy cabbie or a dirty old dog? If you think you're a classy cabbie, maybe you have a story to tell, and you don't mind us digging out your past, then get in touch by emailing us at newcabclass@gmail.com. Gotta love it. That's Cab Class with Gary, Mark and Sean.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Cab Class, the show where we talk to your favourite taxi drivers. We find out if they're classy cabbies or dirty dogs. Hello everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry we've been away for a couple of weeks. We had a bit of a mix up with the holiday forms, but we're all back up and running now. Right, don't forget to subscribe to the London Taxi Radio YouTube channel. Also, if you want to get in contact, you can find us on Twitter at CabClass. That's enough of that. You know me, Gary. I'm your host, and beside me is my mucker, Chelsea Mark. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Not bad, mate.
Good.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a long gap. We needed that gap though after the wonderful Donna.
Yeah, no, it was a great show that.
She broke into it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
What you been up to, mate?
Watching Chelsea get to another cup final. That's boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Another cup final. We've got to go there. That's 15 we've had in about.
What, Super Chelsea now, isn't it? Super Arsenal.
Super League. Yeah. That's going to take the art out of football, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we just found out about that this morning. But so we'll watch this space with that. But have you been out in the cab, mate?
I have, mate. I dipped my toe in a couple of days last week or evenings. He's slowly coming back.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Crazy.
Nice to see some.
Everyone's drunk.
Like that. That's the trouble. Every pick
Everywhere you go, everyone's drunk.
Yeah. They're all out their edge. Yeah. It's like working a Friday night on any day of the week, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like you're trying to. Is there an Arab anywhere? But no, it's just drunk. Drunk English.
Drunk English. Yeah. The people you would have avoided, and they're all you can get.
Yeah. But it is nice to see life back on the roads.
And you see little bars that used to be crap. All of a sudden they've bought themselves an outside heater, and then it's packed.
Yeah. Nice. Good to see a bit of life back out there. How about you, Sean? Have you done anything, mate?
I can't remember. No, I
know you got an invite to the funeral, didn't you?
Well, I think everybody got an invite to the funeral.
I didn't all turn up like you did.
That's right. It was a good day, actually. I think about 20 cabbies got to go on top of Admiralty Arch to pay their respects and overlook Trafalgar Square in the Mall. It's a great view from on top. It was a bit of a shambles. I mean, I think the LTDA put out a notification that cab drivers could go down there, but there was 2 demonstrations. There was Kill the Bill and EDL clashing a little bit, and that put the dampener on it. So,
but I don't think none of that takes away from what was done on the day that we found out about this sad news when everyone lined the mail. That was
that was
whether you're a royal or not, it was a fantastic touch.
No, it was great, and the police were very accommodating, and it was spontaneous. The fella that put the idea out, people jumped on it, went down there, and it was a great way to pay their respects, and in solidarity with the Queen, who's obviously very sorrowful at this moment in time. So it was great, and the cab drivers were great. It was really respectful, and I think on the back of that there was an invite on Saturday to go up to the top of Admiralty Arch and pay their respects for 1 minute silence. So it was on the back of that. It was a bit of a shambles, but it all paid off in the end. Cab drivers went up there, and I think they had a really good time. But I tell you what, I've got to say this because it pales into comparison to a tweet of the week, you could say, posted out late last night.
Could be a new
right, and I just want to focus this because I think people might agree with it, might not agree with it, but I think the person who posted it, maybe he needs to identify himself, apart from his very handsome picture he puts on Twitter. But it says, here it goes, it says, Tottenham in a breakaway Super League, ? Right? Right? Stop it! ! I've got to read it because it's got to be verbatim, I can't paraphrase, can I? They haven't won the league for 60 years, or the FA Cup for 30 years. What's super about that?
Does there's the profile picture look a bit like Philip Schofield?
Yeah.
He's a good-looking fella, I think.
He's got a few years on Philip Schofield, I'll say. But
looks more like Gordon the Gopher.
But he goes by the name of Cabbie Mark. And I've got to tell people, especially your mate Nicky, because he might have something to say about this.
I've been on the phone with Nicky this morning. He's top Spurs, isn't he?
He's the original Cab Class guest, isn't he? He might have a few things to say about it. But if you want to have a chat with this fella, Cabbie Mark, I mean, he's usually at mine on late morning on a weekday. So, come up and have a word with him because, you know, he might have a point, he might not. You know.
I'm pleased you're following me. That's the main thing. I feel like I've made it. That Sean's looking at he's stalking me. I like it.
Right.
There you go.
We have got a guest here today.
We have got a top guest.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this one. He's a musician by trade. He's been a Green Badge holder now for 3 years, and he's got a brand new album out. It's called This Is Me.
Look in the mirror, what can you see? Painting some pictures out to the sea. This is me. This is me. Now is the time I feel I've grown, living the lifestyle we've always known. This is me. This is me. Try if you will. The battle is real. Dreams still alive. Never look down, down. Never give up without a fight. I am the ember, you are the flame. When we're together, I'm always to blame. This is me. I'm always to blame. This is me. Always to blame. Never in my life would I've known. Now that you left me all on my own. This is me. This is me.
Everyone, put your hands together for Lee O'Brien.
Lee, well done, Lee O'Brien.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for coming,
mate.
mate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. I've had to listen to a couple of shows, so it's good. Yeah, it's nice to be invited.
Oh, so
on.
you're the one.
Yeah, that's it. It's me. It's me. Yeah.
We should contact
This is
you
me.
two.
Yeah, I know. I thought you'd done that on purpose.
Yeah.
No, we stalk people and we try and get them on here through their good backstory.
Yeah, no, I've noticed.
And you.
We saw us outside your house, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we met you. Yeah. You
I
go to bed early,
thought-
didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. Lee, can you tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, your sort of pre-cab life, if you like, what you've done in the past, and then we'll touch on a bit of how music fits in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm from Loughton in Essex.
Yeah.
I never like saying Essex because of the. It's always the only way it's
connotation,
Essex.
yeah.
But you
Always
like
does.
saying
No,
Loughton?
No, I don't. No, Loughton. Yeah, Loughton. But a lot of my family originally from Poplar.
Yeah.
So whenever I've gone anywhere, I'd always say I'm from East London. Always from East London.
Yeah.
But
So they sold up their council drums in Poplar and moved out
but I've still got
to a
family
greener
there.
climate.
Yeah, well, I've still got family there. But I'm proud of where I'm from. But
Proper East End boy.
East End boy. But,
Yeah.
I love it out in Loughton.
Essex is the new East End, really.
Yeah, well, most of us all are out there.
Yeah.
Not the old East Enders.
He's good looking, Gary. Isn't he? I told you, no more Arsenal fans or people better looking than us. How's he slipped through? I'm just looking at him here.
He's very,
How's he-
he's well
isn't he?
turned
He's
out.
well turned
yeah.
out,
Do
isn't
you
he?
know, I was going to
Looks a
say
bit
that.
like
Isn't
Gary.
he? Yeah, Sean, isn't he?
Who's that? The boxer? Is it Gary Steele? Was that his name?
No, he looks
The
like what,
boxer?
Joe Budner.
No, I was going to say that, but then I thought I can't say that.
No, it sounds different coming from you.
Yeah, I was quite
That's
surprised
yeah,
when he
good
came
looking,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. He's a looker. Anyway, go on, sorry.
Yeah, right.
That's not going to help on the radio, is it?
So sorry, you were saying, so from Loughton and cabbie for 3 years, just over 3 years.
So-
proud of that.
Are you a
Really
butter boy
proud.
then, or you knew?
No, I'm not butter boy anymore. That was January, so.
Oh, right.
Well, we'll get back to the cabbie. We'll leave
okay,
that in the
yeah.
second half. I
Yeah.
want to hear a bit about what you've done and how music fitted around your life.
Well,
really.
music has always been in my life. My dad originally was a drummer and a singer, so from a very young age, used to go and sit in the corner in the pubs and clubs, just sitting there on my crisps, and we drink and just watch him. Never had a lesson.
Is that what he done? He was
That
he
was all he did, yeah.
a sort of a journeyman musician, or did he play in a proper band? And...
In the 70s, he was with a few bands, nearly making it. He had. We'll touch on this in a little while, but Jeff Rich, the original Status Quo drummer, or the second Status Quo drummer, was the drummer for my dad's band, and they were signed to a label in 70, around about 78. Didn't really happen for them. Jeff went off to go and obviously join Status Quo. I lost my mum about in 81, so my dad went a bit,
Okay,
so
sorry,
that was a sore, situation. So yeah, but he'd stayed in music. Unfortunately, he never really made the big time, but he should have done. Amazing singer, drummer, and a stand-up as well. He was fantastic.
Stand up.
Yeah, it was a comedian.
Comedian,
He used to
yeah?
work
Oh,
back in the
fantastic.
day in Colchester, a place called the. It'll come to me. But he worked with Jimmy Jones, Jim Davis, and all them types of people. Then,
Oh, wow,
back in the
yeah.
day.
Not Potters.
No, the Windmill. It was called the Windmill. But he did the Circus Tavern. He used to do that as well.
So he could be the bit of comedy.
He was the main. He was the
and
main
he'd
man.
do
Yeah.
it, yeah.
But, so, I mean, drums. I think he drums. Then he found he could sing. Fantastic singing voice. But the compare type, comedian type, that was him. I haven't got that side of it. I didn't.
Yeah.
But drums and singing, yeah. But
So he
fantastic.
really was the
man.
full package. And
Oh,
was
he
that
the main,
his...
yeah, it was just such a show. I would definitely say losing my mum was a big factor. You know, I mean,
How old was she?
Yeah.
she was 33. I think.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
so
really
that was
young, yeah.
It was three of my brother, me, my brother, and my younger sister. So I was 8. So it was
Oh, yeah, tough.
It was tough
So your
time.
dad's really
Dad
brought
was
you
only
up.
30 odd. Yeah, I mean, but with stepmum Donna, who come along, she's been fantastic. I mean, I've got two half brothers, and she sort of brought us up as well. So Donna's a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not easy to do, is it? Step into
No.
someone else's shoes and do that, and it
No.
takes a certain type of person.
Oh yeah, and she. I think at the time she was only 19.
Oh, bloody
My
hell.
brother went off the rails, still off the rails, but that's another bloody story. Sister's all right, but there was always one that, like me in the middle, who had to keep things stable, you know,
Yeah.
and went the right way, I suppose.
So your dad, he was a musician as his first profession.
Oh, yeah,
Was
I mean,
that,
yeah,
that's
well-
how he earned his living. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but he was like painter and decorator as well.
Yeah.
And he was a minicab driver. I should say it quietly. He was a minicab driver in Loughton for years. Yeah,
It was okay then.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, it was alright back in the 80s. But yeah, mainly music, and it is such a shame that he never really cracked it big
Yeah.
time, because I believe he should have done.
Yeah, yeah.
He's,
Yeah.
you know,
But he has
he's-
opened a doorway for yourself.
Oh
hasn't
yeah,
he?
well, I mean, if you ever see me play live and you ever see him, you'd like, they're like exactly the same.
Yeah.
When I took over from his band,
He must be proud then.
yeah, I think yeah, he is. But when I took over from his band at the EastEnd, I'd sit in the middle, and I remember the biggest compliment I ever got was the keyboard player turning to me and said, "I close my eyes and it's like sitting next to your dad," and that was enough. I was like,
That's great,
that's
isn't it?
perfect.
Brilliant.
No one can say
so
anything
good.
better than that. That's brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
So really, when you left school, that was it. You just.
That's
you
that's
didn't
all I
want
ever
to do
wanted to do. When I left school, my first job I was a ceramic tiler. No, first was roofing. I was talking about this the other day. Roofing, I bunked school. I should say, but I'd go and do a bit of roofing. But when I left school, it was tiling. But music was
What
nothing
the
was ever
roofing?
going to come
Was
into it.
Just taking the lead.
Yeah. You've definitely been watching me a long time, haven't you?
But you've done roofing and all.
No, because he's from Poplar. 100% was taking the lead.
Yeah.
Don't
But
do
no,
it mainly at
again,
night.
when I lost my mum, so I had all them little jobs, but growing up, after losing her was difficult. So I suppose from 13, 14, I'd run away sometimes, and the first place I'd go is Poplar to my aunt's.
Yeah.
I'd always go there. So I did spend a lot of time in Poplar.
What was it like, Lee, growing up? So in pubs and clubs, watching your dad. What was you put in the corner of a can of Coke and a bag of crisps? Was it that sort of life?
Yeah, just literally watching. I'd long for the day, because there'd be times I was too young to go, and I'd be like, "Dad, can I come tonight?" "No, boy, you can't." I'd be like, "Oh, I can't." So what I used to do, this is fantastic. I used to nick his drums out the loft, get a spare kit, and I'd take them out and set them up in the front room, having a bash away, right? And I'll never forget it. One night he's come home, he's woke me up. He go, "Come down here." And he had my kit out. I said, "No." He said, "Come down here." It's all printed into the carpet. All the stands. All the stands. So that was fantastic. I'll never forget that.
That's a classic.
Yeah, but then when I, as time when I could go to the pubs and clubs and I'd sit there, and
Was you in awe?
Yeah, I mean, he's my idol, always has been. But I'd never he'd never teach me nothing. Didn't need to. I just watched him and honed my craft. I sing like him. I play like him. And that's just from watching him.
But you've never had any formal training or anything?
Never ever. So
Right.
I've taught myself to play guitar, drums, piano. I've got a piano now. So yeah, but just from watching him, and the 3-part harmonies that the guys did, like the beat, was ridiculous. So I learned that as well. So yeah, it made me the musician. EastEnd, Alan and Paul, and my dad made me the musician I am today, without a shadow of a doubt. Fantastic.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Oh, brilliant
So
stuff.
when did you make the decision to say, "Well, I want to start doing this for myself. I want to go"? Did you start doing pub gigs?
Well,
and what age was you?
When my dad left, when did he go? This was in 2001. Before that, I was in loads of bands playing drums for people's their own stuff. So I was just in the background, playing people's music. I think in 94, 95, we were signed. Well, the singer was signed to a label. We were just session players and didn't do nothing. And then you go on to another band. So you do like 2 years with this band, a year with that one, 3 years, and before you know it, you think.
Is that touring?
No, just going around doing the little places in Camden and and you're trying to make it.
Get paid?
No, you get nothing. Lip door money.
Peanuts,
that's it.
yeah.
But you thinking at the end of it you're going to get something.
Yeah, and it's
that
practice,
band,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You're learning your craft, and I said this in another interview. Sting said, unless you've done the working men's clubs and the little playing to 2 or 3 people, you haven't done your apprenticeship.
Yeah,
and I've certainly done that. Yeah. But again, my own stuff, I'd written for years, but it's a confidence thing. We'll get on to Francis Rossi in a little while, but in interviews he always says it, we're insecure little show-offs. And with me, with my own stuff, I was thinking, is my stuff good enough? So I'd write stuff to play my guitar and leave and don't do nothing. But I did write a song, actually, this is news, I did write a song with my keyboard player Alan Daniels and a friend of mine called Steve Garrick, Fly. And we did a film called Lunatic. And what's his name? I can't believe I just forgot his name. He was the actor in it. Grant Davis.
Oh right, Grant.
Oh
yeah,
right,
I didn't know at the time when I'd done the song.
We did
Grant,
it. Yeah,
basically,
right.
it's a song called Lunatic, and I wrote the theme for it. It's called Blame It on the Moon. I was watching it. I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
When I watched it back when I was a cabbie, I was like, that's Grant. So I messaged him like,
yeah.
you was in the film that I wrote the song for. That's quite strange.
Yeah.
But then when they used the song twice in that movie, and I was thinking, well, I must have something to believe in myself. That's when I continued to do my own stuff, still playing with other bands. EastEnd was my main job, so I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for years. That was that, learning my craft. So I think it was down, obviously lockdown. I was pestering Francis, like, I've got some songs. Any chance you can give us?
And you knew Francis through your dad?
Sorry, no, Francis. My wife is Francis Rossi's cousin.
Okay, so anyone who doesn't know,
do
you want to tell us who Francis Rossi is?
Right, well, how Francis comes into the picture is This Is Me was produced. He played the guitar, bass, keyboards, produced a whole album, co-wrote 3, incidentally co-wrote This Is Me. There's You and I that you've heard. He co-wrote that one. This Is Me, and the other one that's on
Who's
the
the
album,
third one?
All in the Dream. All in the Dream. You haven't heard that one yet. I'll give you a sneak peek of that.
Yeah.
But he co-wrote that one. So that's literally the first time in 20 years. Natalie, let's start there. If you know, Shooters Hill, there's a place called the Falconwood. This is where I met Natalie. We used to do a talent show on a Thursday night. So she entered the talent show. I'm setting my drums up, and this is a true story. I'm sitting there. She's come over to give her name. She's all right.
Yeah.
Right. Gone back to her family. Obviously, I didn't know this at the time, but she went, "I'm going to marry that drummer."
Really?
Yeah, 100%. So all night, I'm literally.
And how did you feel about her talking about your mate like
that? But no, I was literally on it all night long. I was just like, wow, she's amazing. And when she sang, because a lot of these talent shows, they don't use the band because they're a bit like, oh, can we use the band? We just use our backing track we used to use it. So anyway, she's saying we've come off. I'm looking at them like that. The voice is incredible.
Who won?
Me. Well, yeah. So I've got but no. So at the end of the night, I put my drums away, and she's come out. Unbeknownst to me, she's already been speaking to people in there, and she's walked out on the phone, and I just went to her. I said, "No," she put the phone down. I was at your boyfriend, and she went, "No, it's my dad just finding out how the show went." I went, "Okay." Turns out later there was nobody on the phone. She just followed me out to the bed.
Oh,
and then one thing led to another. We started talking.
The games they play.
I've got a feeling if we heard this story from Natalie, it would be very different.
It was my boyfriend.
Yeah. But that is bang on. And then 3 weeks later, she moved in, and we've been together 20 years.
No, that was quick. 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks later. She only come over for dinner.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, that's how that story happened. So then, obviously, I've known Francis for that 20 years.
Yeah.
And
so Francis Rossi is related to her.
Well, Francis Rossi is her mum's first cousin. So we always, you don't say second cousin, they're cousins, they're blood, aren't they? So, but yeah, so I've been hassling him for years. But being Status Quo have been, so successful over the years. They're on tour. He's never at home.
Yeah.
This time through the pandemic, he was at home. So now, I write a song, I'll send him something.
And he liked it.
He's cooked it up. Oh, it's out now, so you've probably heard. You've heard Strong?
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah.
Right, so that's the song. I wrote that, and I sent it to him via WhatsApp. Within seconds, he called me up. He's got his guitar. He's playing the guitar down the phone. And my mate was with me. I was like, "It must be something like that." He said, "Oh, what do you want to do with this?" I said, "Well, I know I've been asking you for years. So I've got these songs that I just wanted to. I'm not saying I want to set the world alight, and even nothing might come of it." I said, "But I would just like to say I've recorded an album I'm proud of."
You would have lived and regretted it if you'd never done it.
Oh yeah, but I said once I did the knowledge, I knew that if I can complete the knowledge, I can do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
We know, lads, how hard it is to do the knowledge, and I thought the next thing I will do is record my album. You know, if something comes of it, brilliant. If nothing does,
and you had a link to someone as good as that.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah, you know, not everyone's got that.
No, and this is it. And when he invited me over to his studio, I had to use his engineer, who's also a producer, Andy Brooke. So I had to pay for him every day. And Francis said, "Look, if I can help you." At the time, he didn't really think he would be coming into the studio. Anyway, first day I'll get there, he's come over and played one of the songs. He's in. That's it for months and months, from 10 till 6 every day, maybe 6 months. He was in there producing. He just went mental. And I've heard him on interview. He said, "Look, you know, I've got my cousin's husband here doing this album, and I never thought I'd you know, it'd be as good as it was."
Yeah.
But he went, I was just taken with it. I used to just think, who's this bloody drummer like from Essex wants me to do his songs? He said, but he goes, "I've got to say, this is fantastic." So he's produced a lot. He's played on it.
Great.
So that's a big name to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, massive. So you were sitting on these songs for a while, weren't you?
Was
that the only reason you hadn't pushed on? Was it a bit nervous about putting it out
I just didn't have the confidence in myself. I just thought
it's a big deal.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I just didn't have the confidence. Like I said, with Lunatic, the Blame It on the Moon. Yeah, that you know, that was a co-wrote. So yeah,
and
I knew I had
studio
something.
as well. You've been. I'm assuming the people that you work with now are at the highest end, aren't they? You're using top end producers, and that can only help you, can't it?
To have Francis, I mean, it is. You know, people go on about Status Quo, the 3 chords. It's all a load of rubbish. Some of the best songs are written with 3 chords, 3 or 4 chords. Yeah. He's multi-talented. The guy is unbelievable. I can't speak highly enough of him. He is unbelievable. And to have his name, I mean, when I was filling out the PRS forms, like co-wrote Leo O'Brien, Francis Rossi, I had to make it Leo O'Brien, Francis Rossi, not the other way around. That was amazing.
You told him that?
Oh yeah. But we have so much banter. I mean, I'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, it's been brilliant, and it is a bit. I get asked this all the time. Do you have to pinch yourself? And I'm like, I've known him a lot of years. But when I was sitting there, I mean, I think it might have been this song. This was the last. Actually, this one wasn't even going to be on the album. This Is Me. It was the last one. We had 10 tracks. Well, I had more. I had loads. I just said, what one can I play him now? And I thought, I can't leave This Is Me out. I've got to play him in. So I started playing it, and he was taken with that. Needed a bit of work, which I knew anyway. That's what I was asking his help for.
Yeah.
And Andy was doing something with the mixing or whatever he was doing. And then he said, "Look, let's go into the garden." Sit in his garden. Massive garden, and we're both playing guitars to that, and yeah, that was like unbelievable. I'm thinking, you know.
And this is your single that's coming.
And this is the way, and I've named it this. It's weird how it come about. You think, you know, I've called the album "This Is Me." It was the last one. One even, I could have chosen another song.
Yeah.
But this one, it was. I believe everything's happened it's fate. You know, people say, "Oh, why didn't you do this years ago?" Well, Francis was never around to do it.
Maybe you weren't ready.
My songwriting ability was nowhere near what it is now, and working with him in the studio, I believe he's made me a better guitar player, musician, songwriter, everything. Like the way, because there was obviously little flaws in the way I wrote, because I'd structure things. I'd think it was like verse, chorus, end. So I'd play him, and he'd go, "Right, we need a chorus," and I went, "I've got one." "No, you don't." So I was like, bit of inexperience with that. So now we need to lift it there, you know, because I say he's been playing guitar a lot of years. You go, "Right, use this chord here." Like, it's gone there. Right, so now I've learnt that. So now when I'm at home on my piano,
so technically you're better,
100%.
And also, I think whenever you put yourself out there, now I know it's not fighting on the front line, but you're exposing a part of yourself.
Well, that was it.
It's very anxious, but then when you come out the other end of that, I think you're probably more of a fuller person, because you say, "Okay, well, I've done it."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, I've exposed myself.
Yeah, well, that is it.
I've opened myself up for any criticism.
Yeah, well, that's good what you said there, because when I when I was going, don't forget, I'm sitting in the studio with someone as so successful as Francis is, and I'm putting my songs on the line. He could have gone,
and your feelings as well.
He could have gone, but when you listen to the album, it's a life story. There's a song on there about my mum. It's the very first song I ever wrote. It's a powerful song. There's another song on there called Free Yourself. It's about my brother who went down the wrong road. You'll hear it straight away. So it's a life story of an album.
But also that comes with age as well, doesn't it? Because you're not 18 years old, are you? And a lot of singers, musicians we see at the moment are a lot younger, and they can't come up with that kind of stuff.
It's a life experience, isn't it? You know, that's all in. I mean, I've poured it out in an album, and then to play him to him, for him, if he sort of turned around and said, no, next, he never did that with any of them. So I'm like, that's a tick with that one.
Yeah. So he's not even binned any.
No, and
there's
about
the knowledge. You must do a knowledge song. We're going to do a song.
We'll get to it. There's a song on the last one on the album.
No way! Brilliant.
What's it called? Red Line.
It's called Last Man Standing, right? No, this is Last Man Standing, and he called me one day, and I had a passenger on, right? And he's on the phone, and I hate talking on the phone when you're in the cab. I don't think it's polite to do. But if your passenger's talking on the phone, I think it's okay. Yeah. But anyway, so whenever he calls, I can't not answer his phone.
You've got to phone.
He's calling me.
You've got to throw the passenger out.
Yeah. Do you mind? We're on Regent Street. Do you mind jumping out?
You get out because you're on the phone.
Yeah. But anyway, I was literally by the BBC. It's funny, actually. I should have thought about that. I was just driving past the BBC building, right, Portland Place, going into Regent Street, and he went, right, where are you? He goes, and he went to me, you're POB, ain't you? And I'm like, yeah, I am. So I'm trying to talk all quiet. He said, well, I've been thinking about This Is Me. I went, okay. He went, you talk for a minute. I went, yeah. He said, one of the songs on his album, he was waiting for his PA outside a shop, right? Now, fans you'd make of it what you will, yeah? But he said all it was, I was waiting for Lion outside the clothes shop. And that's how that come about. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. So when you listen to it, you think it's about something else. He said, whereabouts are you now? I want you to just take in the surroundings as you're driving about. You've got a notebook, obviously you've got your phone, you can just tap things in or whatever, or even voice note, yeah? So I'm thinking, Last Man Standing. He said, because how you've written this, it's over in 2 minutes. It's a very quick song. We need to double up the verses. And I'm thinking, oh no. So now I've got to think where we are. So now I'm literally taking that on board. The last one I said, waiting around for a telephone call, waiting for you to come around. Like, I can't think. Join me, and it goes on. I'm getting stuck now to think what the lyrics are. Waiting on the corner for you, right? Yeah. So picking up a passenger, and then it was a golden ticket. I always call a T5 a golden ticket. Right. So that's in it as well, golden ticket. So later on, I dropped her off. I then get a T5. So the golden ticket's in the song as well. So
the song wrote itself.
But that's what he said to me. Just to make little notes of what you're up to in that day. Yeah. And I called him back and I sung back to him what I had. He went, yeah, see, it's easy. I went, wow. But that's how that come about.
I might do an album.
How would you describe your music?
This is a difficult one.
Yeah, I would call it. Go on, what would you call it? Go on, Mark.
I did say that.
Nick Ashley.
I said Gary Barlow, Coast Take That. That's what
I like. That. A bit of I think he's a
country rock.
Well, that's good that you've picked that, because the country style that you hear on the guitars is obviously Francis is massively into his country, because he did a country album before as well. So that you'll hear that on certain songs. My influences growing up. I mean, with the band EastEnd, we'd play like big band stuff and a wide range of music. Beatles, very heavily.
You can hear that.
In This Is Me, when I wrote the middle 8 section, they were working on something, and I was just sitting there. I got the words, and I just written like that, and I had chords, and it, for me, as soon as I sang it, got in the vocal booth, and I done the harmonies, I went, that's Beatles, and that was great. So, but growing up, in the 90s, it was Stone Roses, Happy Mondays. I've got to not forget things. Definitely Pink Floyd. There's a bit of Pink Floyd in some.
Well, I did write down late 80s, early 90s rock.
No, it is. I mean, there is that, but that's the flavour. Definitely Beatles, Pink Floyd. There's the flavour of Paul Weller's massive for me when I was.
You
so
can
there's
hear that.
a little of that. There's a bit.
Definitely Paul Weller.
There's a bit of that, but I don't. Yeah, someone tweeted me, and I sent them one of the tracks, and they went, Ocean Colour Scene, and I was like, really? I didn't see
great
that.
band.
But that was one. I think that was You and I. that they could hear that on. But
I really enjoyed Strong.
Strong, it was.
I really like that.
When I first wrote that, I remember running down to the house. I said to my missus, I think I've wrote a hit record there. I really did believe it. Totally different from how you hear it now. It was really slow. Took it to the studio, and I played it to him. He loved it, and we done it because what we do with it, we'd do a guide vocal and acoustics. So I played acoustic on all the album along with him. So we did it. I've disappeared out of the studio. I've come back, and the BPM went up. What happened to that? I'm singing it now. It's really slow, and all of a sudden it's up. And I went, I can't. So that was a little bit of what have we done here? I don't think I can sing it like that. It doesn't fit. Listen, he's producing it. Just listen to what he's got to say.
You started to throw your weight around a bit, yeah?
Well, no, yeah, I did. We did have we never had words in there because we worked brilliantly.
What is it? Artistic differences.
Yeah, you have to. And don't. Let's not forget this. It is my album.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're my songs. So, and he will tell you, I'm not precious about stuff. Like he couldn't believe how quick I did the drum takes. I was in there, 1 or 2 takes, they were done, and that blew me away thinking because drumming in a studio is totally different from playing live. You're playing to a click, it's difficult. I didn't find it difficult for some reason. I think I'd already got the songs. I was buzzing that they believed in that. So just put the cans on, played them, bang, done. 2 or 3 takes and they were done. So, and even the engineer said, normally the drums take the longest, even I can't believe how quick you've done them. And I said, well, to be honest, I was scared about doing the drums. I thought it was going to take forever. He said, well, you've nothing to worry about there.
So you do that, and then you do the guitar separately. How does it work?
We just get. I sent the demos to him, so Andy would put that onto his system. They'll go into the guitar booth and just play along to. I would just sing, put a click on for the tempo. So we'd set the tempo, whatever it was. I would play along to that, sing a guide vocal. Francis would come along. He would play his guide vocal. I'd go and then put a really rough drum track down, and then we would just build it like that. See, a lot of people think it's a band. Everyone goes in, band, bash, but it's not like that.
No,
it's not like we just built it. And you wouldn't think that when you listen to the album. You wouldn't think that it's pieced together like that.
Yeah.
What's great to hear is that this ain't just something you thought I'll have a go of. This has been you've lived this up to this moment, and you've put this together. You must be so proud of this.
I am, and this is what. And to be honest, I've like I said to you, I didn't want to look around in 10 years and say, you idiot, you never tried. And I can definitely say I've done it. And do you know what? I am so proud of that album. I think it's brilliant.
Well, I hope everyone listening gives it a go. We're definitely going to put all the links out in there.
I'll tell you what's interesting about that. I have a mate, and he's
You've got a mate?
No, way. Okay.
Seriously?
It's me.
It is. It is from today onwards. Yeah. I mean, he's an artist. He's a great artist. He lives in Brooklyn. And he never had the confidence to put his, art out, get a little studio, hire a room, put his art up, let people come in and have a look at it. And we pushed him, and eventually he did it. And on the day, he had like a major gallery come into this little room where he was advertising his art, and he got picked up by the gallery. Now, that's equivalent to a management of music, isn't it? A record company picking up your work. The gallery picked him up, and now what was £1,000 for his art is now selling for £30,000. And it just goes to show that actually could have just bypassed him so easily. And like you've gone, it could have happened. You could have said, you know what, I ain't got the confidence to do it, and you've gone and done it, and it's happened for you.
Well, I've always believed in myself, but it's just you just touched on it earlier about you're putting your songs on the line here, and people just go.
That feeling of
same with him though. Same with him and his art.
But I know a good song, and I know what's not. I knew they needed work, but I also know I've got an ear for a melody.
So we've ever done, isn't it? It's your life.
Yeah, well, lyrics. I mean, again, this is a life story. A lot of this. So that Francis, when he started writing the other stuff, but he said to me he's in awe of my songwriting. And someone who's a legend like him,
of course.
I'm in awe of you. And I couldn't believe it. I said, you're joking me? You're in awe of my song? He said, listen. And I went, what? Down, down, deeper and down. He went, exactly. Down, down, deeper and down. And I went, but you're a successful artist. I'm someone who's trying to, albeit, I'm not a young pop star. Don't want to be. Didn't want to be. It wasn't about that. But he just said no. That even I was telling my son, he went, the lyrics. He went, no, you can just come out with lyrics. He sent me, after we did the album, he sent me 7. Even I've got a few little bits of songs on my phone. I'll send them to you. I'll try and put some words to them. I went, all right, send them over. So I'm listening to it, I think, this is his stuff. This is unbelievable. Right, got my guitar out, learned what he was playing. That day I sent him 7 songs. He went, He went, have you done that?
Yeah.
I don't know. People say to me sometimes, what's that about? I don't know. Just I'll write, play something, and words just pour out. It's obviously stuff in here, but I don't know where it comes from. But so that week I sent him 7. He called me. He said, don't just concentrate on what I've sent you. Your album's proven in your songwriting. Carry on doing what you're doing and write some more. I went, all right. So I carried on that week. I wrote 17 songs. Sent them to him. He's actually doing this. They need work, he said, but don't do more than 2 minutes because it doesn't leave him time to do stuff with.
Got ya.
So I'm just doing 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. Next song.
So what's the future, Lee? So the album's out now.
Album comes out the album date's to June the 4th.
Oh, beg your pardon. So the album comes out June the 4th.
June
but you can get some samples. I've listened to the 3 of the tracks.
Yeah.
So we go. What your
The website leobryanmusic.co.uk. There's 3 tracks on there.
And the video.
The video, This Is Me's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, and Strong. See, Strong. We tried to make that viral, which is so difficult. But my missus, we put a link on for YouTube. They wasn't going to the link on YouTube, so she did a TikTok minute clip.
Yeah, that's
Facebook,
the way to do it.
Right? But they still weren't clicking YouTube, but they was clicking on this on the minute. Within 7, we had to pay a bit for the boost on Facebook, which you have to do. In 7 days, it had over 130 to 140,000 views.
Wow.
On that. But they still wasn't. I mean, we did another boost to get them to go to YouTube. It went up another 5,000. So they're still. I was speaking to someone last night about. I think there's companies who how do you make your videos go viral? Because have you seen the video yet? To Strong.
Yeah. Oh no. This is me.
Check Strong out because my wife put a video together. It's like a NHS type COVID video. Just stills of photos that she did.
And it also gives. I imagine that gives a song a bit more meaning.
Oh,
as well,
if you see it, you'll be like, it's powerful. It's a powerful message.
But don't forget, you're now on London Taxi Radio, so really, you may not have to do all that.
Yeah, exactly. I've made it.
We're with the main man
Oh,
here,
right,
aren't we?
exactly.
I mean,
Big
seriously,
time.
because Francis Rossi rang earlier, wants to come on, but I said to him, because you're not a cab driver,
No, exactly.
so he may
No
do the
chance.
knowledge, he said.
That's a great shout.
Yeah.
Where did the knowledge come in then?
Well, this is crazy, isn't it? Where a friend of mine, he was a cabbie, and I don't know. I really don't know how I decided to do it. I was obviously doing my music at night. I just was scratching about in the day. And I was thinking, just do the knowledge. I thought, yeah. Didn't think nothing. I'll get a bike, fly about.
Was you really committed or just?
Oh, listen. Going out pointing, I had some personal stuff at home. The missus was busy, so I'm having to do the kids as well. So it did take longer than it should have done.
Yeah.
But as everybody knows, when you hit appearance stage, you ain't got time to muck about. You have to knuckle down.
You can't go in half.
So doing the. I mean, I would say, doing the runs, something had come up, and I weren't as committed as I should have been. It would have been quicker, but as soon as I got onto appearance stage, that was it. That was me. I mean, you know how difficult it is. I'm in my log cabin at the end of the garden, which is my studio now. I was in there, ridiculous amount of time pointing. And
did you ever think, what am I doing?
there was times where I had a difficult time on 12. I went 56s, 28s, fine. 21s, Swire battered me. Do you know what I've done to you today, Mr. O'Brien? I said, no, sir. I've unleashed the beast from the cage. Have a nice day.
No way.
I was like, oh, thank you.
We've heard nice things of Swire. I've had him. And,
I had him on 28s. He was brilliant. He battered me. Yeah. But in a nice way. But they're only testing your temperament to see how you do. But 28s, I thought, well, honestly, I thought he was fantastic. But 21s, I think he left a little seed on me. He said to me, 21s is a different kettle of fish. We'll see you then. So he knew what was coming. But that was I took it on the chin. Yes, all right, sir, take care. Patel, on the other hand, I mean, left the Shaftesbury Theatre at Grape Street, right? So he'd already battered me on points anyway. I weren't scoring.
Yeah.
But you don't know it. At the time, you think I've got this, right? So it was there, going down to something on Endell Street. It's only round the corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, this is easy. I've scored here. And I went, leave on right, Grape Street, right high over before Princess Circus by Endell, right? He went, stop there. I said, sir. You went left into Ireland. You can't go left. He went to me. I said, sir. I didn't say left. I know it's one way, and you force right. He went, do it again. Run it again. So I did the same thing. He leant over the desk. He went, well, I know what I heard, and you went left. And I said, D, see you later.
No way.
No way.
That was it, yeah. But I don't know, it was just another game, you know, how you're going to deal with what he does, and that's what he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have gunning? Everyone tells us about this gunning.
Yeah,
Is he still doing it?
Do you know what? He battered me again up in Hampstead, right? And again, it was mad because I thought I had to think about this. I had to think about this question he gave me. I can't remember what it was, and it was some road was going, this road's closed. You can't use this. Can't use that. And I went, put my head in my hands. I thought, oh, here we go. So I've done it. He went, well done. He said, you got us there, albeit all round the houses, but you got us there. But it's a D anyway. Right?
Yeah.
But I thanked him. I
thanked him for a D?
No, I said to him, it's a great experience. Because, you know, you just want to think, whatever. But yeah. I just thought, you know, it was a great experience. I took it on the chin. Yeah, and I suppose me and a few mates used to think, I ain't doing his work. Because he hadn't really repeat. I'm not doing his work. No. Should never have looked at it like that. But I did. But
it's all part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a game. My mate said to me, the one who told me to do the knowledge, he went, listen, it's all a game. But you don't think that when you're going through. You're nervous as hell when you're going in there.
Oh, it don't feel like a game at all.
No,
when you're
it doesn't.
No,
it's only when you're done, you think, yeah, it is. Yeah, they're playing with your mind. And
if you're about to go in for an appearance and somebody says treat it as a game, you can't do it, can you? There's no way.
No.
I used to think walking up Penton Street, you'd concentrate on what you didn't know. You play on your brain, and you're thinking, what about what you do know? But you don't.
You're trying to look at that big map on the wall, trying to take it all.
I know, yeah. You just what you don't know now, you ain't going to know in 2 minutes when you get called in.
Someone said it's like a golfer. There's a little sand bunker there. And you've got all this green and all this fairway in front of you, but your brain's concentrating on that bit you don't want to go in, and where'd you go?
Exactly, yeah.
How long did it take you?
About 4 years.
Yeah, about the average.
That's not bad.
4 years, that's not bad. And do you enjoy being a cab driver?
I love it. I do, and the people you get, and listen, again with the music, you never know who you're going to get in your cab. Yeah. I had Ellie Goulding, but before I'd done the album, and if I had her before, after the album, I could have chatted to the songs and whatever. Yeah,
got to do a bit of backup.
Well, no, I gave her. I've got a little video on my phone just with my 3P. I'll show you a bit later. But there's a song that I sang on Have I Told You Lately by Rod Stewart. So I think I had none of my own songs, so I hadn't recorded them.
That's a good song.
So I passed it through to her, and she's sitting in the back of my cab and she's harmonising it to my little video, and I'm like telling the missus, like, oh, Eddie Goldie's been harmonising to my track, unbelievable. But again, so who knows? I could be driving
have ever got to meet that and do that.
No, yeah. But again, I could be driving around in my cab, and now I'm going to get a sticker there with my album cover, so on my seats.
Yeah, good thing.
So you never know you're going to get in your cab. People I'm saying, like, follow me on there. They're doing it, playing the track in the cab. Who knows who I might meet in my cab record exec? You don't know.
That's right.
No,
it could happen. No. And people go, oh, well, you're going to give up the cab in now? Oh, no, I'm not. I love this job. And if music does take off, and I'd still love to get in my cab. I love it. Yeah. People go, you're mad. No, I'm not. I did the knowledge.
Well, it's free parking in London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I love it. But who knows what's happening? Radio. My PR is taking it to radio. Hopefully, we get to radio play on Radio 2. Oh no, it's London Taxi Radio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, lads.
Get it right.
So that might be.
Sure, to play it for you.
Yeah,
I will. You watch it skyrocket.
Yeah, they are good. No, it's a good album. It's just I just feel that someone needs to take a chance on it, and with Francis' name.
Well, you're doing the right thing. You're out there. You're plugging it. You know,
I can't do any more.
No.
And going just quickly with the other stuff. I want to get back in the studio. I've got probably another 2 albums that I've written. I shouldn't have said that, should I? Yeah, I have. I've got another 2 albums.
Well, the minute you cross that stratosphere, you're made, aren't you? It's just that line, isn't it?
It's, I never thought I would be, doing. I mean, this is amazing doing this, chatting to you guys, and it is anything that comes is a bonus.
But the pandemic has helped you, as I say, you had this year. But now, is the pandemic going to hold you back because you want to hit venues? Yeah. Well, so the first thing that year at home or whatever has
well, there was a little bit of record label interest, but they didn't come back because who's going to sign anyone in these times?
No, they're not.
And I had to go right. We gave them time to come back to us. They never said no. They had the album. Didn't say no. Didn't say yes. Yeah. But I just thought actually. The first song come out at the end of January, we need to move. I need to just forget about it and just self-release. So that's what I'm doing now.
But you're right as well about what the job can bring, what cab driving can bring.
Yeah.
Like the fellas that did Cabbies Do Killer, you know, they climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, didn't they?
Yeah,
I mean, they would never. They say they would never have done that if they hadn't been cab drivers. So
Yeah.
what it leads to is incredible.
Yeah.
And double that up then with the pandemic, that is give everyone time to reflect and say, okay, I love being a cabbie, but what else can I do?
Yeah.
Well, I said to my missus the other day, if nothing comes from, I've got 2 PRs. I mean, I'm talking about PRs. I've got a PR doing my stuff, PR, radio PR. So that's amazing in itself. I'm doing interviews like this, and if nothing comes of that side of it, I do believe. I mean, my mum's looking down at me. I believe that. I believe that something might happen within the cab. I'll be driving along one day, talk about my songs to someone, and you never know.
We had Rudy,
Well,
didn't we? Risky Roads, and he said,
Yeah.
"Don't ever think if, always think when."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. But that's the way I think now. I just think, well, I can stand. Francis Rossi's produced and played on my album. That's amazing in itself.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
So you know that is a big thing for him. I know his family, but listen, if the songs are rubbish, he wouldn't have done it.
That's right. Yeah.
So I've got now. That's why I think the self-belief in my songs now. I've written when I leave here with you. I'm going home. I've started writing on the piano. I bought myself a piano, so I'm writing. I've got a guy coming round. I've written a ballad that I think will suit his voice. And I'm like, what? That's madness. You know, and I'm buzzing about that. I'm thinking, and my songwriting's getting better and better, and it just goes.
You know, there's a great saying, and you don't often get what you want, you get what you are.
Yeah,
and I think that's brilliant.
True,
so if you're
yeah.
in that position
Yeah.
and you put yourself in that
Yeah.
position and you are that,
Yeah.
then you're going to attract that kind of
I
energy.
think so,
aren't you?
yeah.
Now I tell you, you must be very super confident. But one thing that I know knocks my confidence, especially when I'm out in the cab, is when I'm there. I've got me
Being
light
around
on.
birds.
Yeah, I've got me light on.
Yeah.
I see someone walking towards me. They look at me, and then they go and get the cab behind.
Oh, that'll knock your
Have you ever had
confidence
that?
away.
What is that about?
They won't with him. In his
No,
face.
that's what I'm thinking.
No,
I
it's
I
in
was
your
on
face.
Whitmore Street the other day, right? And you're scratching about, looking at, and this fella's come out of his house. He had his dry cleaning, and you know, he just like, he knew he wanted a cab. So I'm staring at him. He's looked at me. He's walked behind me cab.
And got in the one
Jumped in the
behind.
meet, and I'm like, you know why? Because I'm heading east. He wants to go that way. I can turn around, turn on sixpence.
No,
drive me
that,
funny,
that,
that.
that was his golden ticket.
Yeah, that was his golden ticket. But then there was another one. The opposite side. You come out of Duke Street from Selfridges, turn left. There's a building with a big glass door there, right? Woman, I'm coming east again. Same thing. So you do a U-turn up and down, don't you? And I've clocked her come out of a little case, and she didn't. She was miles away. Gone past her. I've gone over the lights, done a U-turn, come back all slow. She put her hand up, and I went, I've just seen you come out. I'm thinking, you know,
Yeah,
she
your
wants a
spidey
cab.
senses
Yeah,
are tingling.
You want a cab here?
Yeah.
And she went, oh, sorry, I was miles away. Waterloo, please.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So he's mad. But yeah, that does happen.
Well, you singing though? That might be.
Yeah, no, I did see. Yeah, I did. I got out.
You had a guitar. I couldn't get in.
But yeah, no, that does. I mean, I was listening to some of your other stuff about Who's a Dog, and that, I loved that. I was thinking, this is before I spoke to Joe. Is it Joe? And who's the other girl? I can't. She's going to kill me for this.
Oh, are they the ones who said they can't get past the jingle?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we met up with these girls, cabbies, and they said your jingle's too long.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
That's not a bad case of ADHD, is it?
Couldn't get past the jingle.
Really?
So who goes to a podcast, puts it on, listens to 20 seconds of the music at the beginning, and goes, no, that ain't for me.
Maybe because it's not your dulcet tones.
Maybe that's
it's
exactly
a
right.
bot.
Yeah, that's what it is. If we put,
I've got to remember her name because she'll kill me. She'll listen to this.
Go on.
It was Joe and Tracy who basically.
Yeah, that's it.
It's Joe and
Yeah,
Tracy.
yeah,
I
that's
my
it,
brain
yeah.
was everywhere. But
Right, well, while we're on the subject,
yeah.
let's get into it. We've heard a lot about your music, which
Yeah.
has been fantastic. I've took a lot from it, especially some technical information I didn't know. But what we really need to know, the whole point of getting you here, is
Yeah.
to find
Am I
out
a
if you're
dog
a
or not?
classy cabbie or a dirty
I'm a
dog.
classy cabbie, mate.
Now, within 3 years, I don't think
Yeah,
you've
but we
been...
can't just go on looks, can we? He may
I
do a
just
few
can't.
things.
Listen, I just find it
He rivals Andy.
unbelievable how some of the cab drivers act. I mean, it's the etiquette. You got to stick to it. You know, if someone pulls out, it's their job. But you know.
Yeah.
It's obviously not I'm not a butter boy anymore.
No,
gentlemen.
that's right.
But I just think you don't. How they act, some of these cab drivers are, and they are dogs, and I just can't believe it.
Listen, Lee, this is our decision.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course it is. Sorry, I'm trying.
Yeah, you don't tell us, mate.
I got to say though, he starts off well. He's wearing a pair of Emporio Armani
he's
jeans.
bang on, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's bang on.
I mean,
Yeah, but you get them as standard in Essex.
yeah, that's right.
He's done a
They're
very
handed
good
out
job.
from the council, aren't they? You get 2 pairs a year.
But yeah,
It's his
no.
t-shirt that
You
lets
get
him
you
down.
get the wheelie
Yeah.
bin and them shoes.
But has anyone been on here and said I am a dog?
We've had a dog.
We've had
We've had a
one,
dog
yeah.
on here.
Listen,
we've
we've had
You
a
take his
few.
badge off him. You shouldn't take his badge off.
Listen, we've had a few where we're like, shut up. Like, we want you to be classy. You're really letting yourself down
I
here.
can't
but-
believe. Honestly, it shocks me.
No.
Honestly,
We had
it does.
someone who used their piss bottle during the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're joking, aren't you? Yeah.
Right, let's ask some questions. We'd like you to answer them openly and honestly. It's just a bit of fun, mate. And
Go on. Well, I'll see you later.
right, have you ever, on a job, dropped a passenger home and asked to use their toilet?
No, flatly no.
Have you ever?
I wanted to.
I've been tempted.
I
yeah.
wanted to, yeah.
Have you ever done
and I've
that?
never had a. Doing the knowledge, I've got to say, in my little smart car, I did have a bottle, but I never used it. Someone said to me, "You've got to take the bottle out," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
In case you could, and I just thought I can't do it. And I've seen them at King's Cross. The drivers, they open the door and they're pouring it out.
Mind you,
It's disgusting.
It works the other way as well. I was asked by a passenger if I wanted to use his toilet. I was.
Yeah, you was in there. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So no, that's a no. That's a no.
Have you ever done that? You know, when a passenger gets out and you think, a young lady, I think, I'll watch her into her house just in case, but it gets a little bit stalky.
I know
So
exactly
you're
what
watching,
you mean.
you're watching,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're going,
and they're waiting for you to go.
And they sort of like waving and thinking, hold on a minute. And then what's even more embarrassing if you're still there in the morning.
No, that's you.
No, I had that exactly. I dropped a young girl in pit and I said, "Would you like me to see you in?" She went, "What?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, watch you go."
Yeah.
And it got so awkward. I was like, "Do you know what? Get out."
I had a friend, it's a true story, and she said, "Will you just go away?" She thought, because she generally thought, hold on, you're watching me, you're checking my door now. So there's a thin line between watching you in.
Yeah, but I can see that.
Yeah. I think the mask.
Yeah.
The gimp mask. I should
How
have done
often
that.
do you
Sorry, I'm
clean
sorry.
your cab? Yeah, it's getting
Oh
a
no,
bit
my
hot.
cab's. Well, it's there. Look, it's immaculate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a LEVC as well.
It's immaculate.
So you don't ever do that thing, gets this filthy and just wipe round the handles?
I can't.
Which I just did earlier. I did that earlier.
I
You can
can't
put
even.
one in
I
the
can't
handles.
even like. If it's a little bit dirty, get the lever and lever it off. In case
I'm
it
very
scratches. I
OCD.
can't have it.
It is a question, then. Do you ever throw your litter out the window on the way home?
No.
Yeah, that's
won't
dirty,
do
isn't
it.
it?
It's dirty, isn't it? You
I
don't want
just won't do it.
Yeah. Do you keep any musical instruments in your bin?
Yeah, at the front.
It's
yeah.
got to be asked of a
Yeah.
musician.
In
hasn't
my
it?
bin?
You know?
Like
Yeah,
that
in
bit
your
at the front.
Oh,
Bit.
see,
So
the
you
bar
show
boy
me.
coming
No,
up.
bar
boy.
Yeah.
You don't know the word.
No,
You
I-
really had made the
there is-
transition from being
there
a bar.
is
You
a-
don't know what your bin
There
was.
is a cabbie. I've seen a cabbie with his acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
It's
It's quite famous.
Well, I
He's
thought like,
is he the singing cabbie?
No.
it's not singing cabbie. But I just think, well, what
That's
happens if you've got
Adrian.
someone with luggage? And I wouldn't. I don't want to be come out with me.
But we have had
Mind
people
me,
with
I've
gold
got me
cups.
friend-
Me float with me.
No,
harmonicas in the front.
Aidan has all the bubbles coming out. He has the works.
Oh, he
doesn't
does a lot,
He has
yeah,
a
yeah.
system in his cab.
So I'm doing all right. Well,
Yeah, you're doing
I'm
fine.
doing all
mate.
right with that.
Do you eat on the go? Sandwich in hand on the wheel driving about?
I have done. I've got to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
wrong.
not a good look.
It's wrong.
What about when
No.
you drop like a bit of
No.
bacon and you're trying to
Oh,
bend
no,
down
no,
to pick
no.
it up and drive?
No,
at the same
it'd
time?
only be like an apple. I'd never not Sam Rami, so I might have an apple, which I still think, don't look right, does it? The smoking does me. I can't believe cabbies are smoking.
Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Really?
And even in the new cabs
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like,
leaning
I'll
out
be
the
like,
window,
I'll be on the phone to my mate. He's smoking. We've got a brand new cab,
Yeah.
and he's smoking out the window. What are you
Problem
doing?
is driving along smoking is too difficult to text, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so I've done bad on the eating one then. So
That's great. No, you're fine, mate. Well,
No,
when does
it's
the
a dirty cabbage? Is it an apple?
I'm a dog.
yeah, we only eat egg rolls. When does the meter go on? Someone's flagged you down. Does the meter go on the minute you see them?
No, you've got to let them get in. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I've seen people,
Yeah.
and I've seen people get the wheelchair out and
Yeah.
then click it on.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's
terrible,
just,
that, isn't
I've
it?
seen
that
it
is-
happen, and
that
I'm
is
like,
so
are you
bad.
sure?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, when they get in. Yeah.
But then
unless
it's
I mean, so just basically, if you're waiting for them,
But it's a
2
fine line.
minutes, 2-3 minutes, then I'll
Yeah,
click it on.
You can't leave it too long because then you forget to put it on. Then what's the scenario? How do you play that
How
one?
many times you see? When I first got out,
I do it once a day.
Would you guess or just give it to them?
I do it once a
No,
day.
I did not. Someone coming towards me and going, "Oh, you like it?"
Yeah.
So that's happened.
Do you-
not anymore.
Do
I'm
you
like,
then turn around and go, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I forgot to put the meter on"?
I've done it once.
And then play it by ear, and like, oh, what
I've
do
done
they
it once.
think?
Yeah, I've done it once. Caught me out. but I said I probably would have gone.
I said I picked up this couple once.
Going a bit lower to make it feel.
This is a true story. I picked up this couple and I forgot to put the meter on right, and I went from Liverpool Street to Northumberland Avenue, and I didn't put the meter on until nearly the right turn. I said, what do you do this journey often? They said, yeah, we do it all the time. I said, what do you normally pay you in a $5? I went, you dirty. I thought, how could you do that? I went, you pay a $5? Yes. She went, yeah, $5. I went, alright, fine. I took the $5.
I would have took it back to Liverpool Street.
Yeah, I should have done. Yeah, let's check.
Yeah, it's a blue book run taking you back.
Yeah,
that's outrageous. That's annoyed me. That is.
Do you? This is a lot of cabbies do this, but it's a bit of a pet hate of mine. Do you talk on the phone while you've got a passenger on?
No, we spoke about this earlier, and if they're on their phone, then
fair game.
Then I'll talk. But even if they do, I'm still like whispering. So whoever you're on the phone to, they go, of course, back when you ain't got your passenger because I can't hear you.
I was on the phone to my mate, right? I didn't have a fare on. He had the fare on, and I heard the passenger go to talk to him, and he turned around and said, "Excuse me, I'm on a phone call."
No way.
Yeah. I went, "What are you doing?" I put the phone down on him.
You can't have to start. I don't think it's right.
Yeah, I think you got to pick and choose your times. Yeah. Right. Listen. You've been fantastic.
What do we reckon?
He's classy. Classy.
I think he's brilliant for the 10 out of 10, isn't he?
He's releasing an album. How good is he for the track?
He uses oil of oulé. Look at that.
I'm sweating.
Before we go, mate, can you tell us a bit about your socials, what you've got coming up, what we can look out for?
Well, hopefully doing an album launch, which I expect you guys to come along to.
I'd love to.
100%, mate.
So if we do know any venues, we're going to talk about maybe some venues, but the 100 Club, something like that. We want something a bit classy, so we're looking for some theatres maybe. LeoBryanMusic.co.uk, Leo Bryan Music on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. So yeah, if anyone's
brilliant.
Yeah, it's about following. So I followed Sean on my old cabbie Twitter, and I got unfollowed by Sean.
What?
No,
he's
got
it
does happen to my one. It does happen to mine as well. So I'm thinking I followed that. Or they followed me, and it goes.
Trouble is, I'm too busy fiddling about, and sometimes you knock people out.
You unfollowed Lewis, didn't you?
So I'm waiting for him to add me back.
No, listen. So let's get the cab trade involved in this.
That'd be fantastic.
He's an honest man.
That'd be
His music's really good. We really want to get the cab trade behind you. There's thousands of people out there.
Push our
Let's push it.
That'd be great.
And without even, it's outstanding music. I've listened to it, and it really is good. And I'm not just saying that. It's very, very good.
I'm going to get some more promo CDs printed, and
I'm sure we'll share the link as well. And
if you can,
we want to get everyone involved.
Please do. That'd be
brilliant. You've been listening to Cab Class. It's a bit like Love Island for me this is today.
He had to go there, didn't he? Love Island.
It's great.
Who
You
are
went
you
to
going
the
to
mixer.
eliminate?
You really do. But if you want to get in touch and maybe you've got a story to tell, then email us at newcabclass@gmail.com. All that's left for us to say is from the boys here. Have a good week. Till next week.
Baked potato.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.